Casual Gamer Oz once again, continuing our F1 2016 Career Mode Championship Season 1 with Sauber driver Ben Waterworth. You're tuned in here with your host, Ben Waterworth, and we are at the Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. I falsely advertised last episode that we were going to Japan next. I got them around the wrong way. We're actually in Sepang. Now, before we get to this qualifying, or wet qualifying, we're going to have here too, I should say. Recap of what happened in Singapore. Qualified in 17th position, was fairly satisfied with that. The race itself got off to a standard start until I ran into the back of Daniel Kvyat. That damaged my front wing, also gave me a 2-second penalty. From there I made my way up into 16th position on track, but basically ended up finishing 19th after defending Jolyon Palmer for most of the race, and Daniel Kvyat ended up actually finishing behind me. So 19th was what my team wanted from me, so I took it. I was fairly satisfied with it. Now, Malaysia, wet qualifying. It's so wet, we're on the full wets instead of actually on the inters, so let's do this. And this is a track that I've been lucky enough to go to twice. I've been to 2 Malaysian Grand Prix, 2012 and 2013, and very lucky in 2013 to actually be media. I was fully accredited media. I sat in the media centre, which is a godsend, believe me, with the heat at this circuit. Air conditioning, and I was there for the infamous Multi-21 scandal. I was actually sitting in the press conference after the race, and was in a very, very, very tense room with Sebastian Vettel, Mark Webber, and Lewis Hamilton's first ever Mercedes podium. And I actually remember waiting in the press room, because obviously the drivers did the interviews on the podium, and we're all waiting in the room for sort of the press conference, and I've got the 2 Red Bull media ladies sitting in front of me, and on the podium, of course, Mark Webber famously said, "Seb will have protection as always." The Red Bull, one of the Red Bull PR ladies turned to James Allen, who of course was the press conference, sort of the MC, so to speak, and was basically like, "What did he say?" And James Allen sort of repeated what he said, and then straight away both Red Bull ladies are on their phone, sort of texting damage control. It was a very, very interesting situation to be in, one that I'll never ever forget. And I was lucky enough that weekend, actually, I got to interview Sebastian, I got to interview Kimi, I got to interview the Lotus drivers that round, K-Dam drivers, and yeah, it was a great weekend. But meanwhile, we should really concentrate on what I'm doing here right now, and I was doing quite well. I was on pole position pace for most of this circuit, and I actually really like this circuit, not just because I've been there. I actually think it's a very good Hermann Tilke circuit. Pretty much the first one he did. I think he redesigned the Nürburgring, but this is kind of his first full creation. And it's sad that this will be leaving the calendar at the end of 2017. It's no longer to be a Malaysian Grand Prix. And looks like we could be on for a top 10 here. Can we do it? I think we got 9th. We did, yes. I'll take it. And if it's a dry race tomorrow, I've got some good feelings about that. So there you go. 9th for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Let's put that aside, and let's take ourselves now into the race day. Okay, we'll press X, and we will get into this. Now, actually, I'll just take a look at the R&D here. I said I was going to hold off and not develop the car and get those bonus points, but fuck it, let's see. We should be able to at least get something small here. We've got a good qualifying position. Yeah. So we're over 300. I think the last one we had was minimum was 300, was it not? Might have been the drag, the barge boards. Let's have a look here. Yeah, we can get the barge boards. So let's start on the drag. Chetan's credited for the wheel profile, more effective barge boards resulting in a reduction of drag. Select upgrade. Dunsky, thank you very much. Let's do that. I can seize R&D, but I'm not going to. Let's go into the race. And do we have a dry race? Oh, it would be good if we have a dry race. Please have a dry race. Please, 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 please. Malaysian F1 2016 gods, do you like me? You do! Oh, yay! Woohoo! Great. Yeah, it's sad that this is leaving the calendar. It's great. I mean, Australians, it used to be fantastic. The 2 times I went was the week after the Australian Grand Prix, when it used to be back-to-back. So basically, it was the weekend exactly after Albert Park. And cheap flights from Australia to Malaysia. Everything's cheap there for Australians. So it was great. It was a fantastic experience. And you definitely tell the facilities are in need of a bit of an upgrade. They haven't really been sort of upgraded since 1999 when it first started. But it's still a great experience for people wanting to see Grand Prix outside of Australia, if you're watching us from Australia, of course. Alrighty, let's take a look here. Rosberg on pole, Raikkonen, front row, Hamilton, Vettel. Good result there for the Ferrari. Ferrari haven't won a race this year, have they? Ricciardo, Verstappen, Alonso, Button. Then we have myself, yay, Bottas in 10th, Massa, Perez, of course nearly won it in 2012 here, Grosjean, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Kvyat, Magnussen, Gutierrez, Palmer up in 19th, Harrianto, Verline, and once again my poor teammate dead last. So the Manor is the only team yet to get a point this season. Doesn't look like they will in this unless there's a big incident in the beginning of this race. And from memory, the only team not to be a Mercedes that have won this race this year was Ricciardo, was it not? Was that Austria he won that race? Can't remember. Anyway, we'll work that out soon because we're about to get going here. 9th place for Ben Waterworth in Malaysia. Dry Grand Prix. We're away. Verstappen nearly collides into Alonso, and there's my man Ricciardo in front. Now, love the opening sequences of corners here because once you're on the inside, then you're on the outside, and if you're outside, you're on the inside. Now, I can just shove one up the inside here. Very wide opening turn, so you can get away with kind of a few more aggressive moves. I'm going to push myself very wide here and probably take the stupid move. And, whoa, I just have to release the throttle there before I take myself into Perez. Now we come up into this lovely little tight right hand here. Always a good overtaking spot until you're damaging. Now, if I get a penalty for that, surely that's worth a penalty. Yeah, I know I've knocked the front wing, Jeff, but, you know, considering I got a penalty for a lesser incident than that in Singapore, consistency with the penalty system. That is all I ask for in this game. And also, I asked to fucking stay on the track. Shit. 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 And I get a penalty for that! I get a penalty for that! What a crock of motherfucking shit. Wow. That is bullshit. I think I probably got that because I came on the circuit and then... Oh, Benno. What are you doing with yourself? I sat on the left-hand side there. That's where I sat the first show in the Malaysian Grand Prix. Bit of stats for you at home. Not that you really care. I think we should probably pit here. I mean, you know... again, similar to what I said in Singapore, I mean, you got nothing to lose, but at the same time, nothing to gain either way. The car is feeling rubbish. We'll see if anyone pits here. I think Gutierrez looks like he's going to pit. He's travelling very slowly up there. I've got a penalty. I'm going to be last no matter what. So, I mean, you may as well pit and make you feel comfortable. Yeah, let's pit. Box, box, box. Box, 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 box. And this pit lane is a bit of a difficult one. At least this way I can have a fair fight with the prick who got me a penalty. I'll take that at least. Now, yeah, Cash Game Rise I have assists on, so whatever. I'm terrible. I'm so disappointed with that. Like, again, similar to Italy, I just got the same feeling. Like, such a good qualifying. Felt good about the race because it's a circuit that I generally do well at. And I've binned it. You know, I mean, it came and clipping my wing, and then I think it sort of came down for running wide, and far out. You know how frustrating this is, folks, playing this without flashbacks? Oh, goodness me. Alright. Looks like I'm about to have a little battle with the Gutierrez. So I think there's another car. I think Verline's up there too. And it's a shame that I've got that penalty because then, you know, I'm going to be 17th. But I can at least have a bit of a ding-dong battle with a Haas. A good old Gutierrez. Who, yeah, what a terrible driver he is, let's be honest. Funny story, I've met Esteban Gutierrez's mother. We were at the Australian Grand Prix one year getting autographs, and I think it was the first year that he was racing, when he raced for Sauber. And his mother basically was hanging around, and we didn't know it was his mother. But as we were kind of waiting for his autograph, she came up to myself and my friend Sam, and basically it was like, oh, thank you for loving my boy, I am his mother, thank you. Like, shook our hand, like, grabbed our hand, and was just so sincere. She was obviously so proud that her son was in Formula 1. And I think that was basically the only English she spoke. She just kept repeating it. But it was just, there was an interesting little moment. And I can say I've met a Formula 1 driver's mother. So, yeah, there you go. Fun little story for you on Casual Gaming Oz. May as well tell a bunch of stories, given that here I am just plodding around, about to finish dead last, and Mr. Gutierrez behind me is hovering around my anus. Let's go wide. Let's let him through. Let's take the prick out, shall we? I mean, I'm not going to improve. Shall we have a bit of fun? Shall we do something stupid? Why not? Let's see what we can do here. That really didn't work out how I wanted it to, but at least I got a spectacular crash at the end of it. Yeah, you really are wishing that I was a better gamer here, aren't you? Let's have a look at the replay of this. That's for your mother not being nicer, even though she was super nice. Bang! There we go. Should be a pretty spectacular crash. Not really. That was fairly boring, actually. Well, there you go, folks. That's Malaysia. Disappointing once again to have to finish poorly, considering the promise that we had in qualifying. So we definitely go to Japan next. I can tell you that now. I'm not going to get that wrong. So we'll take a look at the replay on how we went. No, we don't see the podium. We never see that unless we're on it. So let's just have a gander at how this went. Off the line, I got a fairly decent start from memory. I did. There we go. That was Verstappen getting choppy at the beginning. Now, as we come into, look at the gap I've got for once, but there's a very racy manner in the background there. And let's see, coming into this corner, it's not where I hit. I think I hit him coming into this next bit. Is it a McLaren or a Red Bull I hit? I think it's a Red Bull. So I get Force wide. Force India. Look at that, wheel to wheel. That's when I was being very cautious. And I come up here into this lovely turn, which I really like, and it's a Red Bull. I'm going to go bang, chop my front wing, I lose the back end of the car, hold it together, get a little bit racy with McLaren in front of me. That was Alonso from memory. And I'm going to run wide coming up into this next turn here, which is kind of where all my dramas start. There we go. Do a bit of rally cross, lose it one way, lose it the other, and then... Okay, well, I mean, I did drive onto the circuit, I guess. That, I guess, is the epitome of dangerous driving. Fair enough for the penalty. Clip, bang. How I didn't retire from race. Oh, and there was a manner that hit me in the back there, too, so that was Verline. And somehow I managed to survive all of that. So, that's kind of why my Malaysian Grand Prix was fucked in the butt, not in a good way. Alright. So, Hamilton defeated Rosberg. He'll get his bit of a championship lead again going on there. Ricciardo third, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Vettel, Alonso, Button, Massa, and Bottas in 10th position. So the championship, Hamilton now 27 points clear of Rosberg, Ricciardo third, Vettel, Verstappen, Raikkonen, Alonso goes ahead of Button again. It's kind of a ding-dong battle between those two, 1 point in it. Bottas 9th, Perez in 10th, myself still in 12th. I'm 25 points behind 10th. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, does it, folks? And in the constructors, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Williams, Force India, Sauber, there we are, Haas, Toro Rosso, and Renault. Thank you for joining us here for Malaysia. It's been another disappointing result here on Casual Gamer Oz. Let's hope better for Japan in a very short amount of time. And remember to like, subscribe, and comment and all the usual stuff here on the channel. We appreciate anything that you want to say to us. Tell me how bad that I am at this game, and that's generally what I expect for most people to say. In the meantime, thank you for your company. We'll speak to you next time on Casual Gamer Oz.